Welcome back, guys. This is King of Motos Hard Enduro race in SoCal, and in the previous video we watched the start of the main race as well as another video we did the prologue. And at the start of the main race we had that awesome hill climb that just with a lot of bottlenecks, a lot of rocks, and a lot of elevation change, and it was awesome. So now here we are, and we're about to drop into a new section, and I have never ridden this section before. And this race actually had some pretty cool downhills, kind of gnarly, sketchy downhills that I was pretty stoked on. You can see we're doing this kind of side hill action thing, and it's sort of like a single track, but still like a hard enduro setup. So yeah, we're dropping in to this canyon, and I can tell that it is going to be good. I'm loving the arrows that they have on these courses. This is a lot better than previous years. You can see there's a couple guys up ahead of me, and I feel like I can gain people on the downhills. I don't know if it's from riding mountain bikes or what, but I feel pretty comfortable on the downhill stuff. Got some big old boulders here to just kind of weasel around. You got the downhill advantage, so it's just a matter of not going over the bars. You can hear foot pegs dragging, pipes knocking, and we're just weaseling through this canyon. So I caught up to this guy. I'm not sure who that is. I'm starting to get a little close to him, and this could be a mistake, because the problem is when you're close to a guy, you can't see your own line. You start looking ahead of him at what his line is, so you sort of miss what's going on. Oh, yeah, that really sucked, because that steep hill spun my bike around the opposite direction. I went OTB. That front tire went down into that deep section of the trail, and now this guy, who I've been going kind of back and forth with on the race, just snuck right by me. So I gotta whip this thing around. I'm on the side of the bike here, slamming it into first, using that clutch to pop it up from one rock, pop it up to another rock, and now I'm back on the bike and able to scooch down and start going again. And that is a lot of work. That really, it's when you crash and have to pick your bike up, that's where you lose a ton of energy. And I love that sign there with the danger on it. It's when you know it's about to get spicy. I think they just don't want you to come into that too hot and then go over the bars. This is a cool rock kind of crossing type thing. I really like that. When you're on one rock to another, slabby, it sort of feels like trialsy. And I wish more of the race was sort of like jumping from one rock to the other with the bigger rocks, because the smaller stuff you just kind of hammers your body and you just kind of trudge through it. Whereas if you're on the big slabs, you can kind of hop between them and it's more technical. You see we're going like left and right of this canyon. It's doing side hills. This is a cool section. So you had to run that high, get a little wheelie in there to scrape by that rock that was on the left, because that could definitely grab your foot peg and knock you off. See, I've been stalling the bike a lot, and I think I said come on clutch, but I was messing with the air screw, the brass one on the bike, and I do have the thumb adjuster idle screw on the bike as well that I installed, but I really regret doing that because I can't get the bike to run perfectly. I think I need to go back to the 3.5 turns on the air screw. I was trying to richen it up a little bit because I was hearing some knocking, which is which is pretty common in the TPIs from what I hear. They tend to run lean. So I was trying to richen it up a little bit and kind of get that low end torque as well off the bottom. But in doing so, I'm finding it that I keep stalling the bike a lot more, and I can't get that idle to run high. I feel like I have the idle screw turned in all the way, which should be the highest. That was cool. I wish there's more walls like that you had to hit. That makes riding hard enduro fun.
Oh my god, look at my gas tank. Oh, fuck. Oh! Jesus. What the fuck? Oh my god. This fucking valve is not working. Oh my god. This thing was gonna blow.
Holy crap, I have never had this happen before. Something's going on
Jesus
where
Christ.
the tank is just expanding.
Dude, my tank. Oh boy. Still coming out.
So that was a pretty nerve-wracking experience. Never had the fuel boil over like that. I've got this little one-way valve that they sell, so when you flip your bike over, the gas doesn't ooze out of it, and I think that one-way valve was holding air in and not allowing it to change. And you can see I'm having more issues with the bike.
What's all these noises?
Something is making a weird noise. It sort of sounds like the sound when your kick starter is sort of pulled back. If you can hear that zzz sound. Of course, these bikes don't have Kickstarter, so it's not that. I'm trying to inspect what's going on here while riding and not lose too much time. But I really have no idea what's going on.
I got a rock in there. Fucker.
So there's a little rock that's wedged in.
Jeez. A rock was in there, it just ground away my chain.
It was in between the chain and that little chain guide thing, and it was just grinding away at the chain. So, oh man, one thing after another. Tank's almost exploding. Chain's gonna grind itself off. But we're back on it, dropping down this canyon. This guy's catching his breath. He's probably checking his GPS, trying to figure out where the heck we're supposed to go. Some of these downhills were definitely spicy. I definitely appreciate these arrows that they put up this time around. It made following the GPS a lot easier. You didn't have to watch the GPS constantly. So you could kind of follow the arrows and you know you're on track, so you could keep going and avoid the GPS. But as you can see here, I'm trying to turn up that idle screw. I'm going to make sure it's turned all the way in because I keep stalling this thing, and I'm not sure. The other thing I'm thinking is that maybe my clutch, I put the ARC on and it allows you to put the clutch closer to your hands, but I think that means you have to pull it in further, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to just pulling the tip of the clutch. So I might try putting the stock one on or moving the ARC out further, making it harder to reach a little bit, but not having to pull it into the bar as far. Changing that kind of leverage. I'm not sure if this is right or not, but it's just the theory. Because I was definitely stalling a lot, just based on the kind of low idle and the clutch not being exactly what I'm used to. So we're moving up and down through these canyons. For those of you guys that missed it, this is the Gas EC300. It's a 2021 that I got from Let's Ride, and it is feeling amazing. It's this perfect balance of being a really luggy 300, but it's got more snap, a lot more like the 250, and it makes just riding it a lot more fun than usual 300s, but you still have that advantage. And I am definitely stoked on this bike. This has been a great bike. I've got the spring forks up front that I have loosened up quite a bit, making them really soft, but I actually still need to go softer. I'm just stoked to not have the air forks. Ooh, that was a power down right there. I'm stoked to not have the air forks because those things were just way too sticky and not springy enough to kind of soak through and allow me to compress and do pivot turns as easy. These spring forks are definitely the way to go if you're riding the slow stuff. Got a little static zap in there. I love those things where you stop and give it gas and like pop over something. That's the type of riding that I really like doing, like the slow, technical, and just hitting things with kind of minimal speed. This type of kind of bobbling over rocks isn't that exciting to me. It's just more kind of an endurance game. So I think guys that have really good race endurance probably will do really well at this particular year's race, because there's nothing that technical. Yeah, I didn't come across any bottlenecks except for that very first gnarly hill climb, which was freaking awesome. They should have had us go up and down that hill climb a couple times in different sections. I wish they'd kind of rope it off and make a narrow, like really hard area instead of like being able to go wherever. But a lot of this race has been, these downhills, which is, you just have to take them slow, it's not hard to get down, and then a lot of flat boulder crawling. There's not a lot of gnarly uphills. This one was definitely sketchy. So I'm actually going to get off the bike and bulldog it right here.
Take a seat.
So I just walk down next to my bike just to play it safe, not go over the bars, and then jump back onto the seat and get back going again. It was a pretty good little climb that they threw in. I thought you were going to have to go up to the right, not left, so kind of got my hopes up that it was going to be like a gnarly climb, but it ended up just kind of jumping to that fire road section.
Hey, fan.
Not quite sure what was going on with my fan. I thought it was making some weird sounds. Maybe another rock got stuck in there into the chain. It was throwing me off, I'm not sure.
Or dabs. Oh, dab.
You start riding, this is probably like an hour and a half into the race, and you start talking to yourself and playing games like not dabbing versus dabbing, just to kind of keep your mind occupied, because these races are really mentally challenging, just riding for so long by yourself. It's nice having done a previous race and knowing certain sections like that. I know in previous races I went straight and had to kind of bulldog down a section, but I sort of knew that it's easier to go left, so you start having advantages the more of these races you do. Even though sections are new, you kind of know they put in, certain sections every year, because we're getting down here close to Chocolate Thunder, getting close to the finish line, and where it starts getting sandy, you hear the crowds cheering, you can see all the people at the staging, and then this cool section's coming up right here. Drop in with that big boulder on the left, Man, it just grabs your foot pegs every time, and I've seen a lot of people get sketched out by that one. So this is lap 1. Probably, I don't know what it took me, hour and a half, hour 25 or something. And we're rolling into the gas stop here. I can't believe that they put it on sand. You know, come on guys, like sand and kickstands, like this is such a pain in the butt trying to get the bike to sit up. I didn't even check my gas level to see if I needed gas. I'm just assuming, play it safe. I think some guys did not gas up. Some of the top pros did not.
This is where the fun begins, right? Whoa!
Never talk to the crowd when you're
fun, guys.
filling up your gas, because you could be an idiot like that. But I guess that's why they have the tarps down. Well, anyways, that's lap 1. If you guys want to see lap 2, which is the final lap, let me know down in the comments, and I will try to edit that up, get another commentary together if you like this kind of format. It's always good to hear your feedback. Thanks for checking out the video, guys. We'll see you in the next one.